Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome to today's episode of Top Deck. We have a top 1000 Golgari Control deck here for you today. Now, this is the last deck that I have here prior to Kaldheim, so very excited to be covering this. You guys can check out my tier list as well. Technically, this should probably be a Golgari Gigantha control deck, but we'll leave it at that. Additionally, you can make an argument for Abzan, but we'll get there here in a minute. With that said, I appreciate the fact that you're tuning in today. We do have a lot coming at you, so please feel free to check out the timestamps down below. We're going to cover off on the deck list, the strategy. Additionally, we're going to talk about the best of 3 sideboard, which I need to pull up here. There you go. And we'll pull that together for a how-to guide, and then we'll go play some competitive Magic here for you in both best of 1 and best of 3 today, and then we'll tie that together with a nice little bow and package and talk about the meta, where this may fit, and those kinds of things about how it went today. So Planeswalkers, with that said, we're going to dive right into it here. So it is a Golgari control deck. Golgari is the guild from Ravnica, both the green and the black, giving us that guild. Additionally, as I mentioned, technically you could say it's Gigantha because of the companion that we have going on here. But what this deck is all about is it's all about tying down the early game. So literally early game here, we don't have a lot that's going on besides finding and kill spells, and we don't get a creature till turn 4, which is pretty crazy. But then once we get past that, it's all about the Ugin, slamming the Ugin, managing the board, and then using these guys to kind of collapse and finish the game for us. So that is the strategy. That is the objective of this deck. We're tying down the early game, we're tying down the mid-range matches, and then we'll move into the late game here with ramp, hopefully quickly, to get Ugin in and make that difference. Additionally, we got my favorite Crawling Barons here for anything else, as I like to say. So Planeswalkers, that is the strategy of this deck. Again, tying things down, hitting the hammer in the late game. So now we're going to do a double click into the rest of the deck here and dive into some of the details. So like we said, we got Gigantha Companion. No card in our starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbol in its cost, so keep that in mind. That's also how our sideboard is set up. Additionally, you can tap it for 5. This mana can't be spent to pay generic mana cost, or we got a nice little 5/5. We also have Eliminate. This is where we can destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less at instant speed. Heartless Act, another destroy spell where we can kill a creature without counters on it or remove up to 3 counters. We got Maze Mind Tomb, one of my favorite cards from M21 here. We tap this guy, we get a page counter on it, and we get a scry 1, or you can pay 2, tap it, and then you also get to draw a card. And then when there are 4 or more page counters on Maze Mind Tomb, we get to exile it. Let me pause here for a second because I forgot to mention that this deck is, because it's top 1000, it is also by a player by the name of Robbie Fuki. Probably said that wrong, but congrats. And this is a slightly older top 1000 deck, actually, back I think towards November. So very excited nonetheless to be circling back on this one. Then we got Mythos of Nethroi. Absolutely love this card, you guys. So here we have an instant spell where we can destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if you pay the green and the plains as well to cast it, you can destroy any permanent. Very powerful. We got a nice mortal land here with Pelaka Predation. Essentially, we can look at our opponent's hand, pull something out that's converted mana cost 3 or greater, and that player's going to discard it, or we can have this enter as a tapped mana source. We in swamps, we also got Belaged Recovery, so the ability to pull something back from a graveyard. Very important here with this modal land. Additionally, you can have it enter tapped as a nice little plains. We got Cultivate, so I like and I really love Cultivate in my decks. Allows us to search for a lot of answers, particularly in three color decks, but again, we can't really go pull this, so keep that in mind, but very important nonetheless for thinning and getting to Ugin fast. We have Extinction Event, Sorcery Spell, Odd or Even. We can choose exile creatures with convert mana cost to the chosen value. 0 is even. We got Solemn Simulacrum, this friendly golem here. That's an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, we can go grab a basic land, put it in, shuffle library. When this guy dies, we go draw a card. We got Beanstalk Giants. Again, a nice adventure card. Not only is it a big bodied creature where its toughness and power equal to the number of lands we control, we can go thin that deck again, go grab a nice little basic. Last but not least, we got Ugin, so +2, deal 3 damage to any target, down X, remove all permanents essentially that have color, cost X or less, and then our ultimate here for down 10, gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanent cards from our hand on the battlefield. The reality is with this one, not probably what we're going to want to do, because a lot of it's actually just kill spells, so keep that in mind. But you know, you can actually pull all your kill spells if you need to too, so keep those things in mind. Then again, the lands, I love Field of Ruin here. We already talked about Crawling Barrens, but the ability to pop this guy off and destroy something that's going to be meaningful to your opponents always does wonders. So that is the main board, my friends. Now we're going to talk about the sideboard here. So first off, we got Cling to Dust, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, we gain 3 life, otherwise we draw a card. Very powerful against rogues decks. We can hit our own. Also powerful against Rakdos decks, Rakdos midrange in particular, and then also if our opponents are playing forms of graveyard, so these could also be Esper Doom decks, for example. Duress here, we can look at our opponent's hand, we choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, that player then will discard that card. We are going to play this against control decks, we're going to play this against late game decks, I would play this against Mirror Match deck as well. Chainweb Arachner. So again, this is a nod to some of the earlier decks. I still really like this card. It's got reach. When it enters the battlefield, deals damage equal to its power to target creature with a flying and opponent controls. 5, it's got escape. We can exile 4 other cards, bring this back, and it will escape with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Still very valuable against things like Temur Ultimatum decks, obviously the rogues decks, so keep that in mind, and then very helpful against other flyer decks as well if you need it for Yorion, those kinds of things. Soul Guide Lantern here, enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. We can sack it, exile each opponent's graveyard, sacrifice this card, also pay 1, we can draw a card. So a couple different things. You're going to play this against, you know, Rakdos decks, the mid-range stuff that we talked about, anything leveraging graveyard. This could be Doom decks as well, so keep that in mind. Anything running Lurrus, you know, you guys have seen me run some of the enchantment decks, those kinds of things, certainly play this. Anything leveraging graveyard, that's what you're going to want to do. Next, we got Agonizing Remorse here. Target opponents can remove their hand. We choose non-land card from it, or a card from the graveyard. Exile that card, you choose 1 life. Great against other control decks, great against other Ugin decks. I really, really like this one for ripping our opponent's hands apart when we need to. So certainly mid-range, late game, Doom decks are very good as well, and if they're playing Yorion, you could always hold this too. Elspeth's Nightmare, again, additional great graveyard hate deck, but this saga also destroys a target creature opponent controls power 2, reveals our opponent's hand. We can have them discard a non-creature, non-land card, and then again, that 3 slot there, or third saga turn, gives us that exile. All the stuff that we mentioned in terms of Soul Guide Lantern, this also gives you a little bit more power against creature-based decks, so keep that in mind. Then last but not least, we got Pulachronos Unchained. Great against creature-based decks, great against rogue decks. Enters the battlefield with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. Escapes with 12 +1/+1 counters on it. Crazy. Huge body. If damage would be dealt to this creature while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage, remove that many +1/+1 counters. For 3, it's going to fight another target creature. For 6, we can exile 6 other cards from our graveyard and enable its escape and get that +12/+12. So that's what we got going on in the sideboard. Before we hop into the where we want to line up, Pulachronos again, creature-based decks, mid-range decks, and below. Can be a good finisher as well, so keep those things in mind. Could work against a Doom deck. So that's going to kind of bring us through our sideboard. Now we're going to talk about how we're going to line things up against the aggro, the mid-range, and the late game matchup in terms of best of 3. So best of 1, we're doing pretty good here. Reality is, if you're going to do anything, we got a lot of direct kill spells. You could always add in Elspeth's Nightmare if you wanted to. You could add in Pull Across Unchained. That gives you 4. What would I swap out? You're going to keep your kill spells. You're going to keep your directs. You could consider going a little bit slower on the Cultivate, even Extinction Event. I would also consider maybe Solemn Simulacrum moving out. We also have a healthy 20 for lands, plus 28 there. You could always go 2 lands if you wanted to, just to be safe, but that's a good lineup nonetheless. So that's how I would look at the aggro lineup. We talked about Rogues by itself already, Cling to Dust, Agonize Remorse, potentially Soul Guide, Chain Web, those kinds of things. And then I would just look to figure out removing some of the direct kill spells, because we don't need all those, particularly against Rogues. Mythras and Nethroi would be one that I would actually move out, because you can move up the curve kind of a thing. But when we talk about mid-range, there's a dichotomy between creature-based and control-based. If they're control-based, you're going to go Duress. You're probably going to play Cling either way. Agonize Remorse. If they're creature-based, you're probably going to want to focus on things like Elspeth's Nightmare, potentially Soul Guide Lantern to clean out any escape, and that's also similar with just like general like Kroxa decks and some of the control decks as well, so keep those things in mind. But that should help you kind of pick apart what you need to. So again, are they creature based? You're going to be set up decently in creature based. If they're control based, you're going to go Duress, you'll go Agonize Remorse, and then you'll decide on the Soul Guide Lanterns. And then where you're going to want to cut is if they're more control based, things that are essentially kill spells, things that are non-control based. You may focus on some of the lands, you may focus on Solemn Simulacrum, maybe even Extinction Event like we talked about, similar to the aggro lineup. Then last but not least, we got control or late game decks, really late game, not always control, but other Ugin decks, ramp decks, Temur Ultimatum, potentially Yorion decks. Most likely you're going to play Duress, you're probably going to play maybe Soul Guide Lantern, Agonizing Remorse, and then you go from there. Depending on what it is, you'll probably remove out some of the direct kill spells, most likely eliminate. You're probably going to want to keep Mythras and Nethroi for Doom decks, as well as some other things. Heartless Act could be a second look. Actually on Extinction Event as well, and then you can decide on Solemn Simulacrum and lands, but that will be enough to get you to where you need to be. So Planeswalkers, that is the aggro, that is the mid-range, and that is the late game lineups there for you. So keep those things in mind. Obviously you can always go back and review it if you need to, but very, very excited about this top 1000 Golgari Control deck, again by Roby Fuki. I think I killed that again. I think they got this in the 1100s, but I like saying top 1K, so that's why I have that. So let's go ahead here now and go play some competitive Magic with this deck. Really, really looking forward to it. We're going to go play some best of 1, and then we'll go play some best of 3. The Azorius Tempo deck's what we did yesterday. You guys can check that out. Obviously, also, I'm dropping the tier deck, so you guys can also take a peek at that. But this is our 100th deck. That is correct. So let's go ahead and jump into it here in some competitive Magic, my friends. Now, as always, I truly appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there and also like the video. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well if you'd like. If you notice, I actually moved up a little bit in Diamond here. I've made, I'm going to keep this, made even though it's all black, a slight effort here. We'll leave it at that, to kind of move up. So I like to slow roll a little bit once in a while. We're going to do this. So turn 3, I can decide if I want to do that or if I want to pull Extinction Event, depending on what our friends here drop. Ooh, I like that. We can certainly do this. I will wait because Extinction Event's going to wipe this board. Oh, this is going to be so nice. It's going to be so nice. I'm going to hang on to Heartless Act. So we are going odd. Full board wipe. Oh, feels good. Feels good. Now let's see what we're going to do here. We're certainly going to ramp and thin. I'm going to wait on the Maze Mine for one turn to see what they drop. Alright, we will kill this guy. Ooh, we got my favorite Brawling Barons. Yes. I do feel, honestly, like my opponent here. I was certainly playing mono red quite a bit. I talked about that. I do talk about this in the tier list. And ran into a few challenges. Honestly, with the control decks, just a huge pain. We'll get ahead here. I don't need to do that. I could have waited, but that's fine. Oh, are they getting flooded? No idea. What can I do here? I'm gonna wait. We'll take the damage. We'll get our 4 back here fast, hopefully. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. We still got our Barons, and I haven't even been pumping Barons yet. Grab that. Could go 3. Let's do it. Let's thin. So we got this, so we don't have to worry too much. And we can bring that back, give us 4 life. So anything with aggro on these decks are under 3. Boom! Great way to start here, my friends, in best of 1. Again, that's a tough matchup. Certainly and personally, I was struggling actually playing mono red against the control decks. It's been very tough, and I think I mentioned that actually, like I said, in the tier list. So let's do one more best of 1 here and see how it goes, Mr. Spoy. Then I might jump into best of 3 today. I'm just a little bit under the clock. This is a terrible start, just because I did do the tier list. So we'll go from there. I keep 6. Do we keep that is the question. I think we do. I think we dump that. This could be a bad matchup for us. This is going to be the key card. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Mr. Spoy. So we got 3. I'm going to do this. I don't like doing that, but I didn't want to hit another land. I wanted to... Esper, here we go. I wanted to get this one down. Oh, we hit it anyway. That's a problem. So this is where you would absolutely... Oh... absolutely board in Graveyard Hate. Oh, I hope they don't have a counter. Okay. There we go. Keeping that in case I need to hit something. AKA a doom. Doom. Ooh. What are we going to hit here? We're going to draw first. There we go. Gotta let it go. We've learned this one. I've said this multiple times. Let the Skyclave hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're close. We're close. Now I could have brought that over. So the one thing that can kill Barons is that Eliminate, which can be very, very problematic. Now, is this 3? We'll see. I don't know if we're going to get away with it, but we'll try it. There we go.
Always consider the consequences of your freedom.
They can sack a couple things if they want to. They can either get rid of Omen or the Golden Egg. Could do both. Pay with the Golden Egg and then... yeah, I misplayed. So they could have played with the Golden Egg. Well, actually, Ugin doesn't hit Golden Egg, so...
All creation can be undone.
We'll keep that.
My flames burn beyond perception.
There it is. They had it. Could have kept that for a draw, but we'll see. Alright, so we're... Oh, okay, we're good.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
We'll get that off the board. Alright, we'll play Extinction Event. Is that odd? 5? Gotta keep that up. For Doom. We'll go down. Could have done 0 there just to get that, but that's all right. We'll pull Gigantha in there. Oh, I'm so sad my Barons is dead. So sad. Let's see what they got in their hand. Alright, we can live with that. Guess I should have went 0 first, but that's fine. Mainly I wanted to do that so I can do this. All right, Mr. Spoy. So I'm gonna lose this either way. So we'll take that. So it's in their best interest to cast their Flasher. Nope. Ah, we got it. All right. We'll call that a success today in our best of 1. I'm going to jump into our best of 3 match here again. Time is of the essence. I did record the tier list video too, so anyway, 100 deck, getting it in there. Tight squeeze. All right, let's go ahead, my friends. Super fun there. Top 1000 Golgari Control. Let's go ahead into our traditional standard rank now, and we'll go play one best of 3 at least with this. So let's go ahead here. Planeswalkers, for those of you that did skip to this section, just to recap here quickly, did 2 best of 1 decks, flawless today. 2-0. But I'd say could have played it again a little bit differently. So I know some of you like to comment on those things once in a while. So that's true. Additionally, Planeswalkers, as always, huge thank you. Truly appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe down over there and like the video. As we get along here, I am going to keep this because I do kind of like it, even though we have no direct kill spells. Other great ways to connect down below in the details. Feel free to hop in the Discord channel, ask questions, those kinds of things. All right, so what are we going to dump here? That's a good question. I'm going to get rid of Maze Mind, as much as it pains me to do that. I'll keep one of those. So this will be a good match for us. That doesn't matter because we're still going to pull with that. So we'll grab the 1 and the 1. Put that on the board. Could have waited. Could have waited. Sometimes I just like to screw up the play, I guess we'll say. Now this will play first. Let's go grab a card. Could cycle. Oh. Pull this guy over too. Choices. Definitely gonna bring Croxa back. No, not enough yet. It's fine. I'll kill this guy. That works. Good in my book. Let's look again here. Take that. Could cycle. Oh, I absolutely love the deck penny in this deck. I may even let the Sky Shade hit. We'll see. Ugh. Lots of Croxus. We'll go thin. One, two, three, four, five, six. Not enough. BO1. This will be a good match here. Just need to get a kill spell. Let's draw. We got the beanstalk we can add. 3 or less. So it gives me 2. You gotta sack it again. There you go. That's painful. We'll make a Baron's big. They're close. They're close. So we want the simulacrums to die. Unfortunately, that's what we're gonna have to do. Good news is we have plenty of graveyard hate in this deck. So that helps. Two, I think we're good. What's this? 4. There we go. That's fine.
I learned much today.
All right, now we're gonna hit all kinds of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leo Bertucci. Let's see. What do we got here? We're still in this. We're still in this. We're not done yet. If they attack in, we can make our barons big enough to block. So we're in a good spot, my friends. We're in a good spot. Yes, look at the barons. Alright, so we'll cycle. There we go. Are these on? On. We'll get him off the board. And do that. I can pull this over. And do that. Oh, we're good. Yes. Yes. All right. So we got a strong deck here. Ooh. I think we dropped these. I'm gonna grab that. I like the soul guides. We just need to remove out of their graveyard. So let's see here. 24 lands. Let's drop one of those too. I think we're good. This worked out just fine. We got plenty of kill spells. We got ramp. We can bring back. We can remove. I think that's what we're going to go with for this one. Agonizer Remorse isn't bad either. Could go down one extinction event. So we can go down. I don't know about that. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. Because they don't have a ton of creatures, so we can play enough control. It's just the discard that hurts us. We had enough draw and life gain though with the Maze Mines. So we're in a good spot. So let's see what we can do here. Ooh, tough. This one's really tough. I'm gonna keep it because we got ramp. We got 2. If we hit a Croxa, it's gonna be a problem. But we'll find out, I guess. Here's Croxa. Oh, I can live with that. I can live with that. Let's get this on. We could do a double thin, but I don't want that. Here we go. So this is a good one for us. Let's drop that one. Do I want to give him that? I can live with that. We'll keep that so we can hit the Croxo when we need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, five. Can do this. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. We have enough for Ugin next turn. There we go. One, two, three. At 3. All right. Boom. So as long as they don't have that direct kill spell, we're okay for right now. We need to get some life back, though. There it is. They had it. Alright, so we're gonna do this. And now we got this guy. Ooh. Go 3. No. We could go 3. We'll do that. We got a kill spell. They can use this castle. See what we got here. Gotta get our crawlings going. That's fine. We have the Triome. I gotta kill it though. It's one turn too slow. One turn too slow here. We can kill creatures, so. Ugh. We have 2 kill spells. Alright, Leo Bertucci. Ooh, I'm actually playing a little bit slower. Now, we can always drop the Soul Guide and crack it too if we need to. So keep that in mind. Soul Guide's a good choice. What are you gonna do? I got 1, 2, 3. Oh, there you go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can make that guy real big. So we have lethal on the board. So if they draw here, they can't crack me. So we're good there. Get rid of Crocs, though. Now, what do we want here? I can make them a little bit bigger. We'll take the 4. In case we need one on the defense. We'll split it. Ah, we got it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What a nice day today. You know, now I'm like, oh, I wish I would have played 3 best of 1 and 2 best of 3, but man, we're gonna leave it at that on a clean sweep and close out our 100 deck, top 100, well, top 1K, 100th deck at a clean sweep, my friends. Wow, that's great. So let's go ahead here and check this out. Again, this was a Golgari Control deck. Super fun, well played. Hats off here to Robbie Fuki. Your deck from November is still solid, holds up nicely. Very, very fun, my friends. Worked out well in both best of 1 and best of 3. Let's go take a look. So again, all about slowing down that early game, getting to that late game. We got a number of ways to make it happen. I love the Crawling Barons. Huge fan, you guys. We saw it do some work here. Worked out well. We played a mid-range deck, a Croxa Escape, Croxa mid-range deck, Rakdos mid-range, you name it. A nice matchup. Was able to pull things in that we needed to impact the board. We won the first one straight up. Very nice. We went 2-0 in best of 1. We beat some aggro decks and played very well. We also played a Esper Doom deck Additionally, so really smooth. In both best of one, I would put this probably somewhere in that tier 2 space, you know, on the very low end, top of tier 3, in both best of one and best of 2, my friends. So very healthy, really nicely positioned, really smooth matches today. So I couldn't have asked for anything more in terms of kind of a capstone here to close out Zendikar Rising with this deck. So my friends, you guys stay safe, you take care. As always, again, truly I appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. Great ways for us to connect down below in the details, like deck list reviews, those things for patrons and YouTube members. And also feel free, if you got questions, let me know. Hop in the Discord channel. Would love to hear from you. Planeswalkers, until next time, my friends, it's going to be Kaldheim all the way. Very excited. Check out the tier list. Think you guys will enjoy it, and man, this was a great way to kind of close things out. So Planeswalkers, till next time, you know the drill. We'll see you again soon. Mythras out. Lots coming your way.